you sure you don't want to do the talking bits? Because you could do the talking bits.
No.
No? You can do the holdy bits if you like.
Yes.
You can do the holdy bits, right? Do you want to do the shooty bits?
Yes.
Okay. So... You've got to be in it as well. Oh, there we go. Right, say hello.
Hello.
You can't get away. I can aim the camera quicker than you can move.
Okay.
Hello. So this is another video because Nina really wanted to be in a video, didn't you? Yeah, you go. You're going to all embarrassed now. So, hand over to my lovely assistant. So, hi. This is all about vectors and axes. Here we have a foot. You can clearly see beautifully drawn and illustrated. And here we have the subtalar joint axes, as it might be, heading around between the second and the first method. Now, usually when we do these to indicate force on diagrams, we use arrows. We have arrows. It's an Easton XS75 game getter, which is a hunting arrow. Doesn't really matter for our purposes. So, if we stick our arrow through our box, that will be our normal axis. And conventional wisdom and the original paper on subtalar axial location and rotational equilibrium would suggest that if we push directly onto the axis, like this, that there is no movement, no moment, either pronation or supination. If you push medial to that axis, you will have supination. If you push lateral to that axis, you will have pronation, which is lovely. However, as those of you who have read their textbooks will know, the subtalar axis does not sit like that, does it? Because the foot happens in 3 dimensions. Now, if we had any money, we'd be doing a really, really cool graphic at this point where the foot would sort of wow and show you, but we don't have any money. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our box on its side and we're going to shove our arrow through it that way. So, from here, I've gone a bit pissed. But from here, basically, it's much the same. If I push up under there, I get no rotation. If I push there, I get supination. If I push there, I get pronation. So apparently nothing has changed. However, those of you who have read the rather splendid paper that came out this year from Kevin Kirby, Simon Spooner and Smith will know that we have to think about the 3rd dimension as well. I shall ask my lovely assistant, Nina, lovely assistant, I wanted her to wear a spangly costume for some reason. Hold that nice and still. You've got a good grip on that. So, what happens, if this is the sole of the foot, and I'm an insole, this finger is an insole, remembering that insoles only push, they don't hold. You might think that an insole modification directly on the axis would neither pronate nor supinate the foot. However, you'll notice that I can, at will, either pronate or supinate the foot with my finger on that point. How can that be? Because I'm still pushing on the axis, I'm still pushing on that line, and I'm getting a moment. That's because if we swivel our foot around this way, we're now looking at it in the frontal plane, hang on to that end. We have also to consider not just where the force enters the foot, but where it leaves. If I push this arrow indicating force through the box and into my hand, you'll all get a good laugh. Within the constraints of the fact that it's actually quite hard to put an arrow through a cardboard box and get the angle exactly right, you angle it down that way. You should be able to see if that arrow comes out directly under the axis, then that force, hang on to that wooden strong. That force will still neither pronate nor supinate the foot because the force is just coming straight into the axis. However, if I push that force through at a bit of an angle, this force vector now misses the axis. This force vector now exits the foot, comes out slightly medial to the axis, and a force exerted medial to the axis will supinate the foot. So that's your big thing. You've got to hang on to the axis. That's your role. Okay? So if I push a force under that side of the arrow, so being pressed on the end, it's very hard for me to exert any other kind of vector other than straight up through the arrow. That will now supinate the foot. Whereas this force happens under here, the force vector comes up that way, that's going to have the opposite effect. That's going to pronate the foot. Even though in both cases, we'll have the sound effects because the foot actually does make that noise when it moves. Even though in both cases the force is actually